In the cold void of space, where silence is death and hope is a fading memory, one crew drifts on the edge of oblivion. Commander Vexel's claws tapped lightly against the metallic floor of the celestial seeker. Emergency lights flickered, casting jagged shadows across the dim corridor. The once pristine blue of his scales had dulled to a brittle gray. 3 cycles had passed since the engines failed, leaving them adrift in uncharted space. A hollow silence stretched through the ship, broken only by the distant hum of failing systems. The crew had resigned themselves to fate. Vexel paused, inhaling the recycled air heavily, and thought about what they had lost, and what little hope remained. The central chamber was nearly empty, with 12 survivors huddled around the last functioning heat emitters. Each face carried the story of pain and endurance, etched in the subtle lines of alien features. Science Officer Nixera leaned against the wall, weakly monitoring vital stats. "Commander," she whispered, "how much longer?" Vexel's 4-fingered hand hovered over the console. 20 hours, give or take, he replied calmly, though his mind raced. Krell, the ship's doctor, knelt beside a feverish technician. The medicine stores were empty, all that remained was comfort. Vexel closed his inner eyelids briefly, a silent gesture of solidarity. Every life here was precious, yet finite. The Zenthari were proud, and they would meet the void with dignity. Vexel rose and approached the command console. He activated the emergency power and began a final log entry, recording the mission's last moments. Cycle 457. Life support failing. No response to distress signals. Our mission, compromised, he said, voice steady, but internally bracing for despair. A sudden static crackle interrupted him. Vexel froze. Something alive, human, cut through the silence. "Celestial Seeker, this is Captain Alan Miller of the Earth Alliance ship Dauntless. We received your distress signal. Hold tight. We're coming." The chamber erupted in stunned motion. Nixera leapt to the console, her fatigue forgotten. "Science Officer Nixera, we read you, Earth vessel. Situation critical. Hold 45 minutes. We can make it," Vexel replied. Hope, foreign and sudden, filled the hollow corridors. As scanners detected the approaching human ship, Vexel ordered evacuation preparations. Artifacts were secured. Research data salvaged. Every step now had a new urgency, a chance at survival. The docking process was tense but swift. Vexel greeted Miller personally, exchanging formalities steeped in Zenthari custom. The humans worked efficiently, treating injuries, lifting the weak, displaying knowledge that bridged 2 civilizations. For Vexel, a new understanding emerged: sometimes, salvation comes from the least expected places. Inside the Dauntless, Vexel watched as the last of his crew received medical attention. Each step the humans took displayed efficiency and precision, blending intuition with scientific method. For a species so young in galactic travel, their understanding of alien physiology was uncanny. Vexel felt a quiet admiration. Perhaps survival depended not just on technology, but on empathy. Dr. Olivia Hayes moved carefully among the Zenthari, monitoring vital signs and adjusting treatments. Her voice was calm but commanding. "Tissue regeneration is faster than anticipated," she noted to Krell. He observed, 4-faceted eyes tracking every gesture. "Your species is resilient, Dr. Hayes, but observing is different from intervening." Olivia's hands didn't falter. "We learn by doing." Vexel approached Miller, curiosity masked by caution. "Captain, why were humans so far from home? Your people aren't expected beyond known sectors." Miller's gaze was steady. "We explore. Sometimes opportunity appears where rules say we shouldn't be. You were in need. We answered. Vexel considered the simplicity of the truth and its subtle power. Catherine Reeves, chief engineer, returned from inspecting the celestial seeker. Her uniform bore traces of alien coolant. Damage isn't random, she announced. Junctions targeted precisely. This was sabotage. Vexel's inner eyelids flickered in acknowledgement. Confirmation of suspicion always carries a weight heavier than uncertainty. A discussion ensued about the artifacts hidden aboard the Seeker. Vexel explained their potential and the threat they represented if misused. Miller nodded. Knowledge has consequences. We must decide carefully who sees it. Catherine and Darius exchanged glances, sensing the gravity of decisions yet to come. Later, in a secure briefing room, humans and Zenthari plotted cautiously. Wilson, intelligence officer, proposed an alliance of the discontented species. Not public. Not official. But a network of shared knowledge, quietly reshaping what the Council cannot control. Vexel considered, weighing duty against survival and morality. Miller's eyes gleamed with conviction. We don't leave anyone behind. We protect knowledge that can save billions. If we act strategically, we can spark change without inviting annihilation. Hope was no longer fragile, it was deliberate. Plans were made, data distributed, operatives mobilized. As the night cycle passed, Vexel gazed out at the stars from the dauntless observation deck. The universe no longer seemed infinite and indifferent. Across its vastness, possibilities emerged: cooperation, defiance, and the faint glow of a new galactic order. The first sparks of resistance, quiet and patient, had been ignited. 5 years had passed since the rescue of the Celestial Seeker. Harmony Station, hidden within a neutral asteroid field, had transformed into a hub of interspecies cooperation. Elena Martinez, once a junior communications officer, now oversaw coordination between 27 species. Admiral Alan Miller stood beside her, surveying the busy hangar. Time had etched lines on his face, but his eyes still held the fire of that first daring rescue. The Fraxians have arrived, Elena reported. Dr. Reeves is already working with their engineers on medical tech integration. Miller nodded. The alliance was growing stronger, faster than anyone could have imagined. In a lab below the observation deck, former enemies worked side by side. Zenthari and Frosian researchers collaborated on agricultural enhancements, energy systems, and defense technologies. Wars once fought over borders and resources were now replaced by discussions over innovation. It's remarkable, Elena whispered. Who would have imagined peace could be built from necessity? Yet, shadows loomed. The Council had noticed anomalies. Monitoring stations were proposed, spies dispatched to track the rapid advancement of these species. Vexel, now adorned with silver patterns on his blue scales, approached Miller and Elena. The Council knows something is happening, he said. But they lack proof of coordination. Miller's jaw tightened. Then we move carefully, but decisively. Inside the central chamber of Harmony Station, representatives from all allied species convened. Humans, Zenthari, Fraxians, Nor Collective, and others discussed the next step. The question was simple but daunting: continue in secrecy, or reveal themselves to the galaxy? Debate raged. Some feared war, others, exposure. Yet all understood one truth: they had ignited a revolution. Catherine Reeves presented technological advancements, medical regeneration, enhanced food production, improved shields and propulsion systems. We've changed the playing field, she stated. Now, we must decide how to wield it responsibly. The room nodded. Knowledge was power, but unchecked power invited catastrophe. Miller listened, evaluating every argument with measured consideration. Finally, he stood, commanding silence. A middle path, he proposed. Not secrecy that will inevitably fail. Not war that would destroy worlds. A new alliance, based on cooperation and shared progress, extended openly to all species, including the Council races. Vexel's inner eyelids flickered with intrigue. Bold, unprecedented, yet the only path forward. Weeks later, the galaxy witnessed the official declaration. Across billions of worlds, species long kept in isolation or suppression rallied to the Alliance's call. Ships moved in formation around neutral stations, symbols of unity and shared purpose. Humanity's principle, never leave anyone behind, had reshaped the universe. The first spark had ignited a lasting change. The galaxy had changed. Billions of beings from dozens of species were now connected through the newly formed alliance, sharing knowledge, technology, and hope. Harmony Station became the central hub for diplomacy, research, and defense. Its corridors echoed with languages, laughter, and the quiet hum of advanced machinery. Admiral Miller walked alongside Vexel, now a senior ambassador for the Zenthari people. 5 years ago, we rescued a stranded ship. Today, we're witnessing the birth of a new galactic era, Miller said. Vexel's scales shimmered with silver patterns of rank and experience. A single act of compassion can ripple across the stars, he reflected, even when it seems insignificant at the moment. On the station's observation deck, Elena Martinez monitored fleet deployments. Ships from formerly hostile species now patrol jointly, ensuring peace in contested sectors. Scientists discussed ways to implement agricultural and medical innovations across planets. It was a delicate balance, progress without provoking the Council too early, but also not delaying the inevitable evolution of freedom. The Council, once untouchable, now found itself forced to react. Emergency sessions debated the sudden rise of interspecies cooperation. Observers reported unprecedented alliances forming on planets previously isolated. Miller and Vexel knew exposure was inevitable, but they had prepared carefully. The alliance had already developed a robust communication network and mutual defense protocols. In one secure chamber, Catherine Reeves and Dr. Olivia Hayes coordinated research teams. Zenthari biological systems and human engineering were integrated to accelerate medical breakthroughs. Frosian energy modules were adapted to power settlements on arid worlds. The Council may resist, Catherine said, but innovation cannot be contained. Hayes nodded. And the people are ready for it. Vexel convened with Zenthari military leaders. We've gained allies, but we cannot rely solely on diplomacy. Some factions may still resist our path, he cautioned. Tactical simulations displayed potential conflicts with Council loyalists. Every move required careful calculation, force only if necessary, influence whenever possible. The survival of billions depended on this delicate strategy. Public Declaration Day arrived. Across billions of worlds, transmissions broadcast the Alliance's mission, cooperation, shared knowledge, and equality among species. Miller's voice resonated across sectors. We will no longer be divided by fear, secrecy, or imposed limitations. Together, we are stronger. Together, we are free. The response was overwhelming. Species once enemies now pledged support. As celebrations erupted across the galaxy, Vexel gazed at the stars. From near-certain death aboard the Celestial Seeker to this moment, he reflected on the journey. Hope, courage, and compassion had reshaped history. Humanity had shown that even a small act, answering a distress call, could ignite a revolution that would echo for millennia. The galaxy had learned a new truth: in the silence of space, no one should be left behind.